So we're in the middle of a housing crisis, and Labour's answer is more of the same. They're not willing to tackle the root cause of the problem.
The average UK house price has now climbed to £367,994.
Nearly half of UK renters are 1 month away from homelessness.
We're just stuck here like pieces of shit. Like, where's the fucking sense in it? Where's the fairness?
Very unfortunately, there is a lot of homeless people. Almost on every corner there is somebody sleeping rough, and it's really sad to see. Like, it breaks my heart. Like, I hate to see people like that.
As you can see, we're homeless. Difficult situation that anyone could be in. Everyone's one paycheck away.
How did you become homeless?
The next thing I knew, the bailiffs turned up, they were taking possession of the pub. I lost my home, my job in one day.
Because the government is doing shit all. These services, these organisations are not much help, I'll be very honest.
And the sad part is the average wage in the UK has not risen anywhere near in line with the rise of the house prices.
But the thing that pisses me off the most is how us English get pushed to one side, and then the immigrants that come across on a banana boat get housed straight away and £5,000 in their hands.
Sorry, just gotta stop you there. It's not a trend. This is not a trend. This is survival instinct. For countries that have collapsed and the rent is too expensive and the food is too expensive and all the prices are too expensive for a single person or even two people to afford to pay the rent, this is what happens.
Welcome back to Brit Rants, where the truth hurts even more than the rent. Back in the UK today, one can work full-time, follow all rules, and they still end up being a paycheck away from the streets. That is not a bad month, that is a broken system. Rents are skyrocketing, wages are stagnant, and support is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, the MPs claim expenses on second homes, while real folks are getting evicted because they forgive £100 behind. Now, this is not just a housing crisis, this is a survival crisis. Families, key workers, even children are slipping through the cracks in a country that feigns concern. And TikTok is full of disturbing voices because people are living this nightmare today. If you want to get away from one bad week from ruin, then subscribe to Brit Rants. Let's bring this injustice to the spotlight.
The average UK house price has now climbed to £367,994. And buyers are racing against the clock ahead of the stamp duty changes that come into effect in April. This is crazy because I remember when the average house price in London was this. Now the UK has an average house price of £368,000. Just a couple of years ago, this number was in the 200,000s. And the sad part is the average wage in the UK has not risen anywhere near in line with the rise of the house prices. Since the Thatcher era, we've only built around 250,000 council houses. So there is simply not enough houses for the amount of people that are both living in the UK and the ones that are coming in from abroad. What sort of message does this send to our young people who are struggling to get on the property ladder right now? Graduate jobs are now asking for a bachelor's degree for a salary of £23,000. It's just got beyond ridiculous. Salaries aren't rising anywhere near what young people need to be able to get on the property ladder. I remember when I first started my career in consulting, I made £32,000, but that was all the way back in 2013. Nowadays, I'm seeing jobs that are not even paying that, and we're in 2025. It's just crazy, and this is just a recipe for disaster. This number is going to climb to over £400,000, and it's going to be absolute chaos for the country. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you're not already, drop me a follow.
Nearly half of UK renters are 1 month away from homelessness. Shelter has estimated that 1.7 million private renters, if they were to become unemployed, could become homeless because they wouldn't have enough savings to pay rent. This is a particularly challenging time for people that are on the streets. January is always cold, but this has been one of the coldest Januaries. The BBC interviewed someone that was homeless in Leeds, and he said that it's like living in a freezer. There's other concerning data about homelessness that has come out. For example, more than half of Brits think that there will always be homelessness. An Ipsos poll found that the main reason people don't give to people that are on the streets is because they themselves lack cash. They don't have an excess of food, clothes, which they can donate. And one thing I would just say to this is, from speaking to lots of people that are on the streets, is if you don't have cash even sometimes just having a chat with someone that's on the streets can go a long way. America's been facing a similar problem with record-breaking homeless numbers. On a single night, 772,000 people were homeless in America. But I would say don't lose hope on this situation. Finland has shown drastic reductions, potentially 70% reduction in homelessness. And they've done this through a housing first program. And something like that, it could come to the UK. It could be something that we roll out across the whole UK.
Do you know what's really, really crap about the UK? Maybe not just the UK, it could be worldwide. Homelessness. I didn't realise how hard it is for homeless people to get off the streets until recently, and I am shocked. Without going into detail, I'm kind of dealing with a situation, right? And let me tell you, it has not been easy to help this person get off the streets. Whenever you call someone, they tell you need to call this number. And if you call this number, oh, you need to write an email to this organization. And when they get back to you, it could be up to 4 to 5 working days. When they do get back to you, then they tell you, you need to contact this number and they'll direct you to the right services. It's so hard. Like, you're trying to help someone out. You're trying to help people off the streets. They want to try and get a job. But in order to get a job, you need like an address. But in order to get an address, like it's so hard. And then if you're trying to get back on your feet and maybe, you know, you want to claim benefits, you can't do that because you need a fixed address. You can't. Like, my friends and I have been trying to help someone since Saturday. We just about managed to find a shelter for 3 days. Just 3 days, right? Once those 3 days are over, I'm shitting it because I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Our last resort is to email another organization, and it could take a good few days or even weeks for them to respond to us. Why is it not easier than that? I'll be honest, I never had much knowledge about homeless people, right? I don't know what I thought of it, but now that I'm in the situation where I'm trying to help someone, it's like impossible to get them off the streets. And if you're lucky to find them shelter, there's a queue. And if there's a queue, there's possibly a waiting list. It's like a first come, first serve, which I get it. I completely get it. But if you don't get there, you're doomed. You need to go to a hotel. Or you have to pay however much to like have somewhere to sleep. And what if you don't have the money, then what? It really makes so much sense to me now why certain homeless people turn to certain things just to survive. And there's so many of us that look down on them and be like, I'm not giving you money because you're going to turn to this or you're going to turn to that. Trust me, there's a reason behind it. I don't agree with it, but it's so they can survive. It's so something can make them feel warm and happy on the inside, because the government is doing shit all. These services, these organizations are not much help. I'll be very honest. I don't know, man. I just feel like something needs to change. I don't know why it's taking me this long to realize it, but now that I'm in a situation where I've had to help someone, it's like, whoa, okay, this is literally what's happening. That's why there's so many homeless people around the UK, and they can't get any help because it's almost impossible. I don't even know what to do anymore. I feel really bad for these people. It actually sucks.
It's funny, isn't it? I did a post the other day on what we're going to do, or what will the country do when we start running out of space, accommodation, food, money, priority healthcare, but running out of accommodation, because we haven't got an endless supply of accommodation. But look what's going on in central London.
Oh, this is madness. Back streets.
Take a look at this.
Central London, bro. Wow.
You got to remember, we've got a housing crisis. There's over 2 million Brits waiting for housing, but you've got thousands of people arriving every month, legal routes and illegal routes. But this is the outcome, people. This is the outcome.
Like they told them, get off the main road. Look, what's going on?
And as more and more will keep arriving every month in their thousands, we're going to see more of this in central London, big cities. You've got to remember, people that are arriving through legal routes and illegal routes, and we don't have accommodation. We have a housing crisis in this country. We're going to see this popping up in many towns, many cities, and possibly in many villages across the UK.
Welcome to Cardiff. As you can see, we're homeless. Difficult situation that anyone could be in. Everyone's one paycheck away. But the thing that pisses me off the most is how us English get pushed to one side, and then the immigrants that come across on a banana boat get housed straight away and £5,000 in their hands. Now, where's the help in the English? Sticking us on the streets and not giving a fuck. Being stabbed on a daily, being robbed on a daily, being taken the piss out of on a daily, being pissed on, shat on, puked on, everything. We get all that. I've lived a dangerous life. Since I was 13 years old. I've been in and out of jail, surviving, trying to keep out of trouble, but things keep drawing me back in because of the streets and no help for us.
Why are you homeless in the first place?
So my mum passed away, and the landlord turned around to me and said, look, you haven't got a tenancy, you're not on your mum's tenancy, you have to leave. I'm like, well, hang on a minute. I'm 20 years old, I have nowhere to go. That's not my problem. Sorry, you need to leave. Okay, no problem. Fighted it through the courts. The courts took no further action on it and said that they were in their rights to kick me out because I wasn't on the tenancy, which is unfairness. It is right. They can do that, but it is a reckless thing. They do not think before they react. And then when they react, it's too late. Everyone's seriously hurt or potentially even dead. I've seen so many of my best mates who've been in the same situation as me never wake up, never come out and end up in a body bag. It's so sad. Like, I've lost 10 friends this year already due to being on the streets and being homeless. So this is a message to anyone out there who could potentially put in the right direction.
What do you think needs to be done?
I think they need to stop the immigrants from coming across. If not stopping the immigrants, at least helping the English more than the immigrants. Because at the moment, all I can see in the government sector is money, 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 money. No? Okay, so we've got vulnerable people on the streets. We've got loads of people, empty shops that could be opened up for the homeless. Instead, they'd rather leave them to rot and suffer when we could be using that building to stay warm, stay dry, and put a roof over our heads to keep us safe at night. That is all I ask from anyone, is for someone just to reach out and help us to get somewhere for the night. And it is difficult, don't get me wrong, it is difficult.
How does it feel like being here? Are you like immune to the public staring?
We feel like scum. We do, we feel like scum. Like, I feel like I'm not worthy to the public. I feel like there is no hope for me. There is nothing left for me in this world. And
do you have any skills?
I used to be a carpenter. I used to be my own self-employed businessman. But since all...
And obviously you've got the experience of living on the streets
of course,
well.
Yeah.
A lot of value you can give.
Yeah.
I was a heroin addict for 10 years.
I was just about to get on to that. I've been a heroin addict. I've been a crack addict. I've been a spice addict.
But my point of what I'm trying to say is I now use that. I'm in a job now where I can use that value, and yeah. I'd like to think that what you've been through, my friend, if you get the right support, same as yourself, you can help others in the same situation of you. But yeah. I think the first thing is trying to get our government club
to look up to the bigger picture, really.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Rants.
No, you're welcome.
Take care. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, boss.
Take care.
Can I just say a few things that is really on my mind and bothering me recently? So, as you might know, we've been in this place for nearly 2 months. So it's a HMO, shared toilets, buzz in and out, a list as long as your leg of rules and regulations that you have to follow. And yeah, we're stuck basically. There's no house for us. Even private rent, there's just nothing there. So these illegal immigrants, they come in, and bearing in mind they are all young men, no women, no children, nothing like that, all young men coming in. They get 5-star hotels given to them, they get phones, they get benefits, money, whatever, and they're treated like royalty, and we're just stuck here like pieces of shit. Like, where's the fucking sense in it? Where's the fairness? And I am not racist at all. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your colour is, whatever. Not asked. But why can't all of us homeless people be put into these hotels? Do you know what I mean? It's just fucking bollocks.
I'm Brock.
Oh, Brock. Brock, nice to meet you, mate. So, you're on the streets, you're living on the streets here in Bath. Yep. Yeah, and what's life like on the streets here in Bath? Rough. A lot of people think of Bath as like quite a posh, well-to-do place, but...
There's a lot of wealthy people, but everybody glides by.
Okay, so I've heard this from other people I spoke to today. Because there are so many wealthy people here, they're saying that they're ignoring the homeless more.
It would seem like that.
Yeah.
Would seem like that, yeah. Definitely.
How long have you been on the streets here?
15 years.
Really? I spoke to some people outside that it's like the Christian place with the pods. They house people.
Oh yeah, Julian House. Yeah.
And they've said that the conditions are not good there.
I won't go in there. Their pods are smaller than a cell. Got like yay much room. Do you smoke? Yes, I do, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
So you were just saying, Brock, that you don't drink?
No, I don't drink. No. Gave up 20 years ago.
20 years ago. So 20 years off the booze on the streets.
Yeah, 2002, 21 years.
Yeah, so we were just saying off camera, me and Brock, that a lot of people stigmatise the homeless as alcoholics by default, just by looking at them. And then you sit here and I can tell by sitting and talking to Brock that he doesn't drink, that he's sober as a judge and has been for 20 years. So folks, don't jump to conclusions when you walk past people. Yeah.
Hang on.
Is there anything that you'd say to the people that watch just about how they should rethink about the homeless?
Judge everybody individually. Take everybody as unique, I suppose.
Cheers, man.
No worries.
All the best. Have a good night, yeah. Of homeless people living on the streets and a homeless problem. I think most people will agree that when they think of Bath, they think of amazing architecture and tourism and a very well-to-do city. Welcome to Bath, or if you're posher than me, Bath, generally accepted as one of the most well-to-do cities in the UK. I'm here today because a few months ago, I came to this place and didn't realise there was such a large homeless problem as there actually is. It's surprising because it's seen as such a well-to-do, wealthy city. And there are people here that are struggling on the streets. The Roman baths there and the amazing Bath Abbey in front of me.
My name's Kev.
Kev, nice to meet you, mate.
I've been homeless now for about 2.5 years. To be honest, homelessness in Bath, how can I explain it? There's a massive divide, rich and poor.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the way that Bath is. There isn't sort of any middle ground. Homelessness is kind of swept under the carpet, if you get what I mean.
Did you think it's inconvenient for the tourist face of the town as well?
Exactly that. I mean, the council went round a few months back, just literally clearing doorways and clearing up bedding that was left in doorways and stuff because it didn't look right for the tourist trade. It didn't work, obviously, because there's still a massive homeless crisis in Bath. I moved back from Oxford, where I was working as a chef, to look after my mum, who fell poorly. And I briefly moved in with her, you know, as is, and she passed away. And then I was on the street. And that's how easy it is. And to try and get off the street when you're a single man with a bit of savings, you got to clear your savings first, then it's going through the whole rigmarole of waiting lists and all that. There is nothing. You get the homeless shelter that will put you up for so many months. You are in a room with no windows, no ventilation.
Is that the one on Manvers Street?
Yes.
Yeah, with the pods.
That's the one. So many people just die in those pods because they give up. Because it's registered charity, you're allowed to go and look at that. It's a taxpayer. I wouldn't even put a dog in there. Do you know what I mean? And I advise you to go and have a look. Go and have a look at one of these pods. Yeah. And you tell me if it doesn't do wonders for your mental health. Yeah. I mean, it just collapses. If you're suffering with depression because you're on homeless as well, get put in a pod, mate. You might as well just give up. You are one step away from being homeless. It's a missed mortgage payment.
Yeah.
It's someone breaking up with you. Do you know what I mean? Give a thought to homeless. don't just see them as rubbish on the street.
You know,
maybe just give a smile and a say hello. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not about the money.
So I've just come back to the shelter to try and reach out to the staff and any management here that might talk to me and give their side of the story of how hard it must be for them to provide this service for the homeless people in Bath. Obviously, this is a free of charge service for the people that use it, and it's incredibly difficult for them to keep on top of the hygiene and the conditions here. Unfortunately, no one was available or willing to speak to me. They're a bit worried about speaking on camera, but I did speak to a gentleman outside who was staying in the shelter, and he's been very positive about his experience here. Basically, yesterday, I spoke to a lot of homeless people, and they were quite negative about conditions here. So, in order to get fair perspective, I thought I'd come here today.
It's actually not too bad here.
Yeah.
They got a brilliant cleaning crew in the morning. Yeah. They go right through it. I've been here 4 days and it's fine. Okay. If you get yourself in here, behave yourself, it's fine.
If you want the help of some kind of institution, there's always some rules and regulations.
This is all free, man. You're not paying for anything, so have a bit of respect. Certain individuals don't. Since I've been here 4 days, there's been, 2, maybe 3 people who've been booted.
So I've really been trying to get in touch with someone from Julian House, which is the company that runs the Manvers Street Hostel with the pods in, which keeps coming up in conversations with basically everybody that I talk to. I've very kindly been given the number for a lady called Helen, and Helen is the CEO of Julian's House.
How did you become homeless?
I was working in a bar and I lived above the pub. Fortunately, the owners, they got into some financial difficulty, but they weren't upfront with us as staff. The next thing I knew, the bailiffs turned up. They were taking possession of the pub. I lost my home, my job in 1 day. I didn't get my last wages. I didn't get my last paycheck.
What did the council say when you went to them?
I turned up at the council. I was there for 6 hours. They went away to do an assessment based on what I'd said. So I didn't have a priority need. And they said that therefore they weren't going to emergency house me. And they were fine for me to sleep on the streets.
Being homeless, that doesn't count as being itself a priority need?
No, I mean, homelessness itself should count as being a priority need. It doesn't. You need to have children, you need to be disabled, you need to have a mental health illness, you need to have an addiction issue. You have to tick a box. It's not the fact that the councils can't house you. It's the fact that they don't legally have to. Never been in this sort of way of life before. I've worked all my life, I've paid taxes. And now you're telling me that I can go and sleep on the side of the street and that the best help you can give me is to give me a sleeping bag.
I mean, 99% of people ignore you like you're not even there. And that's fair enough. It hurts a little bit. You know, if you ask a human a question and they don't even acknowledge it, it hurts a little bit. I get it. People, again, some homeless people are nasty, aren't they? Some people shout at you. But if you ask a human a question, it's just look. I'm nice to everyone until they don't deserve it anymore.
Yeah.
Say hello to a homeless person. Don't ignore them. You don't have to give us money. You don't have to buy us anything. Just say hello. Walk past. One Sunday morning, I said good morning to 150 people one Sunday morning. Only 17% said good morning back. And only 4 said it to me before I said it to them. So get that percentage up. Say hello. We're people. We're nice people as well, most of us.
Yeah.
There's a new trend forming and it's living in your car. This is my home. I live in my car because the cost of living. I have been outpriced at the rental market.
Sorry, just gotta stop you there. It's not a trend. This is not a trend. This is survival instinct. For countries that have collapsed and the rent is too expensive and the food is too expensive and all the prices are too expensive for a single person or even 2 people to afford to pay the rent, this is what happens. You end up living in your car just to survive. It's not a trend. Let's be very, very clear about that. But there are solutions, and unfortunately it means moving and living in another country. As you can see, the prices here in the Western world, where it's modern and forward, right, are just too expensive. This is England, and here we go, let's look at America. These prices, according to the jobs, it's not enough. You won't be able to save money, you won't be able to do anything. But here's the prices here in Asia. And do you think you'll be able to afford that? Basically, you can have 6 months here for 1 month there. Do you think people are living in their cars in Asia? Asian people, let us know in the comments if you see this video.
Cold night last night, no doubt about that. That's my stuff there, which I'm halfway through clearing up. Hard work at the moment, feel quite, quite heavy. It's just groundhog, quite demoralising. Sat down, asking, posing for food at the moment, or money. outside Waitrose. This is my view.
So I spoke about this on my live the other day, and I do want to make a video about this because it really did piss me off, and it still pisses me off when I think about it. So I work in the West End of London, and very unfortunately there is a lot of homeless people. Almost on every corner there is somebody sleeping rough, and it's really sad to see. Like, it breaks my heart. Like, I hate to see people like that. I rarely have cash on me. Like, I rarely have cash. I always have my card. But if I'm going to go get a coffee and there's a homeless person outside, I will get, you know, a coffee or a sandwich or something to give them. On this one occasion, I did have cash going to go get my lashes done, and I had some spare cash over. So yeah, I was walking past this homeless person, and I had a tenner in my pocket, and I literally just gave him a tenner. And as I was giving this homeless man a tenner, he was laying on the floor. Some other guy walked past and went, "Don't give him money, he's just going to use it on crack." Telling me not to give this guy who is sleeping rough, don't give him money because he's going to spend it on crack. Honestly, I got so upset because me as a person, if you're going to give money to a homeless person, just give with the intention, give with your heart, and what that person does with that money is not your business, it's not your issue. Because if you were on the street, if you were sleeping rough on the street and you were homeless and you had no one to go to, you had no friends to call, no family to go to, like, sleep at their house, you'll be taking all the drugs in the world as well to survive the night. In the UK, do you know how cold it is at night? You're cold in your house. Imagine sleeping on the street. Like, no shelter, no warmth. You'll be taking all the drugs, you'll be drinking everything in the world just to cope. And I literally turned around and said to this guy, "So what?" I said to him, "And what? That's not your problem. It doesn't matter what he's going to do with this tenner. I'm just going to give him my heart, and that's my good deed of the day. It does not matter what he wants to do with that money. That's not up to me." So guys, if you're going to give a homeless person money, don't go and say to them, "Don't use this money for crack." No, just give it and don't judge them. Do not judge these people, because you don't know what they've been through in their life to get to that point. You don't know what's happened to them. So just give a smile, you know, buy them a sandwich, get them a drink, give them some money if you have it, and then carry on your day. Don't judge people, because you don't know. Really don't know.
So we're in the middle of a housing crisis, and Labour's answer is more of the same. They're not willing to tackle the root cause of the problem, which is ownership. We see them trying to build more luxury student accommodation in Leeds, more unaffordable units in the suburbs. This isn't the answer, because all we've seen over the last decades and decades is a concentration of ownership into fewer and fewer hands. We now have, as a consequence of things like the right to buy, estates in Leeds that are entirely owned by one or two people. This isn't right. And building more private housing isn't going to fix the problem, it's just going to exacerbate things. So what we need is, we need to take back control of the old council housing units through compulsory purchase. And yes, we do need to build new homes, but they need to be the right kind of homes. They need to be affordable homes, council house homes, sustainable homes. We can't just be building in a slapdash way and hoping that the problem is going to fix itself. It's not going to fix itself. It's going to take bold leadership. We're going to take a complete break with the neoliberal, careerist, self-serving way of doing things that we see from a lot of our elected politicians. You know, I am proud to say I live in the ward. I rent in the ward. I understand what most people are going through. I understand that the same old isn't going to fix things. We're going to have to do things a little bit differently.
Where are the evicted tenants supposed to go? There won't be any council houses available for them. These poor people could end up homeless. British people should be housed first. Well, I totally agree with you. And TikTok censored my last video on this topic. But I'm already hearing reports. I'm seeing people write in the comments of this video that you had commented on that lots of landlords that they know already started evicting people from properties. So I fear there will be a mass exodus of British people from these homes to make way for these new arrivals. It is very sad, it's very sick, and it's very sinister. And these are the times that we're living in now. People need to understand where we're at in this country. And as I've said before, any landlord who takes up this offer, by the way, at the end of the agreement, whether it's 5 years or whatever, they will not get their home back. They're going to have so many issues getting these people out of these homes. Yeah. The bubble will burst. The money will run dry. And when it comes to getting these people out, they won't be able to. And then many of their homes will be trashed. Mark my words.
Hi, good morning. I want to quickly discuss rent prices. I live in a semi-rural town just outside Bath, and when I first moved here from London 7 years ago, my rent for a 3-bedroomed house with a garage was £850. The same property now, I no longer live there, I moved recently, is up for £1,400. That's an increase of £650 in 7 years. That's £100 a month it's gone up. How on earth can landlords charge that much money or increase the rent that much in just a few years? Children are staying at home longer because they just cannot afford to move out. And this is the reason why. Are landlords just getting greedy? Because I don't think the mortgage prices have gone up that much. I may be wrong. Can someone do some calculations and let me know? But yeah, £650 in 7 months, 7 years. Completely insane. It's just not fair. Something needs to be done, I think. Just my opinion.
Working with homeless people, let me understand that. A lot of us are one bad decision away, one fire job away, one little blip away for being in the same position. A lot of them, if you hear their stories, like, oh, their mom died and it caused them to have severe depression. They couldn't go outside and go to work and stuff. They lost their job and now they're homeless. Or they got a gambling addiction. Or it's just something, they went onto drugs. You know what I'm trying to say? A lot of people look down on these people in society, but we are no far above homeless people, you know. We are no far above them. This is why I will never look down on a homeless person. I'll always acknowledge them because, yo, that could be me. You never know. I never know how life would go. God forbid. But, you know.
That is broken Britain, at the brink of tearing itself apart with everything right having been done. Hard-working nurses, single parents and pensioners face eviction. Not because they have been reckless, but because the system is. There isn't just a housing crisis. It's all about dignity, stability, survival. It's a country where rent rises faster than wages, where social housing is just a cruel joke, and where politicians have the money while you count pennies. Budget better, they say, while claiming expenses on fine dining. Work harder, they say, while signing out for taxpayer money on their second homes. And at the mere thought of the homeless sleeping in the shadows of £1,000,000 flats left empty by foreign investors, they hold an expression of complete disbelief. This is not bad luck. This is political greed, corporate capture, and failure for years. If you are under pressure, then you are not alone. And if you are pissed off, then good. Use it. Share it. Speak it out. Nothing is going to change until we make so much noise that it shakes the halls of power. Subscribe to Brit Rants, where we fight back with truth, not silence. The cost of living is killing us. We are now between a rock and a hard place for being able to live.